Hello to you from Inside Drug Discovery. This video describes a drug, Palsonify, which was recently approved by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration. The video describes mostly the medicinal chemistry properties of the drug, rather than outcomes in patients. Palsonify was approved on September 25, 2025. Palsonify is approved for the treatment of acromegaly in adults who either had a poor response to surgery or for whom surgery is not an option. The active pharmaceutical ingredient in Palsonify is paltusotine. The drug is administered orally once per day in an initial dose of 40 milligrams. Later doses may be titrated higher. The sponsor for the NDA is Crinetics Pharmaceuticals. A link to the prescribing information insert of Palsonify is shown at the bottom of the slide and can also be found in the video description. As was said, the indication for Palsonify is acromegaly. Acromegaly involves abnormal growth of certain bones, organs, and tissues. The condition is generally caused by a non-cancerous pituitary tumor called an adenoma that causes the pituitary gland to release growth hormone. Growth hormone subsequently causes the liver to release elevated levels of insulin-like growth factor 1, IGF-1. IGF-1 is responsible for most of the abnormal growth symptoms in acromegaly patients. Treatment is typically removal of the tumor, but that option is not possible for all patients. Palsonify provides a non-surgical option for those patients. The target for paltusotine, Palsonify's API, is the somatostatin receptor 2, or SSTR2, which is a G-protein coupled receptor. The mechanism of action of paltusotine is as an SSTR2 agonist with an EC50 of 0.25 nanomolar. That is quite potent for a small molecule drug. The outcome of agonism of SSTR2 is reduction of growth hormone secretion and therefore reduced downstream secretion of IGF-1 by the liver. Selected physicochemical properties of paltusotine are on this slide. These properties were generated or calculated by Swiss ADME. None of these properties stand out, and all are in line with paltusotine being orally administered. Paltusotine does have a basic amine. In Palsonify, paltusotine is formulated as its hydrochloride salt. Here are some PK properties of paltusotine. For a small molecule drug, it has a rather long half-life of 28 hours. The terminal volume of distribution is 220 liters. The clearance is not provided in the prescribing information, but based on the formula, half-life equals 0.693 times VD over CL. CL can be calculated as 5.4 liters per hour. Assuming a 70 kilogram patient, this value works out to a clearance of 1.3 milliliters per minute per kilogram of patient mass. I mention this because the oral bioavailability is also not reported in the prescribing information. If the clearance is this low, then the first pass effect should also be low for paltusotine, which would lead one to expect that the bioavailability is actually quite high. With regard to metabolism and excretion, paltusotine undergoes glucuronidation, almost certainly at this phenolic OH group. The compound also undergoes phase 1 oxidation. I'm not very sure what the site of oxidation is, but I would guess one of these aromatic rings. Paltusotine and its metabolites are almost exclusively excreted via the feces. Palsonify does have a number of safety concerns. In the category of warnings are listed gallstones, abnormal glucose levels, both high and low, cardiovascular risks, thyroid function, steatorrhea, which is also known as fatty stool, and vitamin B12 deficiency. Adverse reactions observed in at least 5% of treated patients are mostly GI tract effects, along with some cardiovascular risks. That completes this summary of the approval of the new drug application of Palsonify, which was granted by the U.S. FDA on September 25th of 2025. Palsonify contains paltusotine and is approved for the treatment of acromegaly. Your comments and feedback are always welcome. Please like, subscribe, or leave a comment below the video. Take care.